Well, Babak Emamian joins us now, member of the British Iranian Business Association. Babak, good to have you with us. Iran had warned that it was going to break its uranium enrichment stockpile, but who's driving that agenda? Is that Rouhani's government, or is that the hardliners, the Revolutionary Guard?
At the moment, this is for domestic consumption ready, because the government has issues with people, because the economy has dived. There is it's going towards absolute poverty now. On the other hand, the Revolutionary Guards, they have an issue of mutiny, because if you look at the lower ranking officers in the Revolutionary Guards, they are not ideological. They are average age 40. Only the higher echelon, which are about age 60, are part of that revolutionary people who came into power. So the actual, if you look at the Revolutionary Guards, they have issue with our lower-ranking officers. They are mostly career people. So to stop that mutiny in the Revolutionary Guard, they need some sort of a prospect of a war. So this is just a prospect of the war for the Revolutionary Guards to cool them down, and similar for the government, to cool the people down that the economy is bad, but the worst could be a war with US.
But in this case, they've alienated Europe, because the deadline was set for European leaders. If you can't help us, protect us from US sanctions, then we're going to violate the terms of the JCPOA. And that is what is happening. Europe now says it has no other option but to take action.
Well, in recent weeks, Tehran has come to the conclusion that Europeans cannot be the mediators. The Trump administration, they prefer Japanese or other people rather than Europeans as mediators. And there is nothing for them to lose. But they like to keep the Europeans on board as much as they can, because they think by having Europeans on board, they could actually not go to a war with US. The Europeans would be that stopgap to stop them going to war.
I mean, let's be clear. Iran doesn't really want a war, does it?
It wants a small war.
It wants a small war.
Small war.
To what end? And can you have a small war with the US? The US often engages in pretty big wars.
Sure. People talk a lot about the sanctions having crippled Iranian economy. You look at it, the floods has caused more damage than the sanctions. And the floods, nobody's talking about the damage that the recent floods in Iran and the lack of water management has caused to the Iranian economy. And the Revolutionary Guards, they control majority of the agriculture, so they've gone bust. And this is just coming up. So nobody talking about that aspect of it. Iran is not due to sanctions and natural disasters.
But what does a small war get it? How does that help it when it's in such a bad state?
It would detract the attention of people from the economic hardship, and it would send a signal to the people that life could be worse. And the worst would be a war with US. And also it raises the patriotic feeling of people. And this is a trap that the US doesn't want to fall into it, I have to say. The US administration has watched this, and we've learned recently that also President Trump, there are three President Trumps. There is one, the Twitter President Trump, one, the Oval Office, where he sits with his political strategists, and the Situation Room President Trump, where he sits with his security officers and militarist people. And we've seen recently that this unpredictability of Trump, which one he is going to make a decision. Is he going to be the Twitter Trump? Is he going to be Oval Office Trump? Or is he going to be the Situation Trump? Has confused the Iranian authorities.
Yeah, very complex situation. Babak, thank you very much indeed for that. Babak Emamian there.